Uh-oh.
He's unlocking.
He's a junior, locking himself out. Should we all cheer? All right, I'm going to call this meeting to order at 7 p.m. First up on the agenda is citizens communication. Commission welcomes the comment on public park and rec items. Public comment is made on an item is not published on the agenda. Will only be heard by the commission. No action, discussion, or comment will be made. Each person providing public comment will be limited to 3 minutes. Will be asked to state his or her name and address for the public record. Do we have any public comment? Don't think so. Approval of minutes. 3A. Hopefully y'all got the minutes in y'all's email and you have them in front of you as well. I think we only have a couple people that are carryovers from the previous commission, so I'll probably need one of those three to make the motion in the second, and then if those that are here but weren't appointed in December didn't listen to the minutes in December, and why would you listen to that meeting if you didn't have to? You can all abstain from that vote, and we can just go with the ones that were here. Any issues about the minutes? A motion to approve?
If we watch the minutes, can we vote?
Absolutely, absolutely. Motion to approve?
I move to approve the minutes.
And then a second?
I second.
All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. All right. Now we're moving to discuss only. 4A is discussion regarding director's update, including information on project status, special events, and staffing. And since we don't all know each other, I thought we would start out by everyone going around and introduce themselves. Everyone gets to know each other a little bit. I'll start. My staff will play along as well. So I'll go and then we'll go around the room this way and everyone get a chance. Shane Mize, Director of Parks and Rec. I've been a resident and an employee for about the same amount of time, coincidentally enough, for 6.5 years. I lead the team here in Pflugerville, and I'm looking forward in 2026. I'm looking forward to the new rec center. We have a lot of things happening. A lot of cool things are happening, but I think the new rec center, seeing it every day, driving by it, seeing it continue to go vertical in City Hall and the new plaza and everything that goes with Downtown East is exciting. So then we'll go to junior. We'll cover our full staff, and then from there we'll go internally.
Junior Rodriguez, I'm the park superintendent, so overall operations manager of parks and trails. I've been a resident of Pflugerville 17 years, and I've been an employee all in parks for 18 years. What I'm looking most forward to in 2026 is all the new parks that are coming along. I think we're gonna get like 2 parks this year, and I'm excited for that.
That's what community impact was about, by the
Yeah.
way. I had to look it up, you made me nervous.
I've never seen a negative headline in a community.
Scandal outbreak.
Give us a chance. Yeah, so yeah, that's it for me.
I'm Jasmine. I've been a resident of Pflugerville for 4 years, and I've been an employee for almost 3. I'll hit 3 next month. I'm the admin tech, so I handle POs, contracts, all of the boring stuff. I'm looking forward to graduating my master's program in May.
Awesome.
So,
Congratulations.
thank you.
My name is Jeff O'Shea, I'm the Assistant Parks and Recreation Director. I have been here almost 2 years now. Look, it's just crazy. I do whatever Shane doesn't want to. I mostly deal with administration, park projects, planning, and
Comments to
urban
community
forestry.
Comments to community impact.
And comments to community impact, interviews. Like I said, what Shane doesn't want to do. And I'm looking forward to, so yeah, we've got great parks coming online, but we're going to start design on a few really awesome parks this year that we'll talk about in a little bit. So those are really exciting.
My name's Jonathan Hansen. I'm the rec superintendent. I am not a resident, but I have been an employee for almost 3 years. So Jasmine and I actually started on the same day. So I am in charge of all of the recreation programs and the special events within the city. And what I'm looking forward to most in 2026, Shane stole the Monarch from me. So I'll say all the new programs and events that we get to do in all these new parks and places.
Braden?
Reagan Anderson. I've been a resident of Pflugerville for 4 years now, coming on 5. What do? I don't get enough Parks and Recreation in my day-to-day life. So I work for the city of Georgetown in their Parks and Recreation department. So I decided to, on top of that, come and spend some free time doing more Parks and Recreation stuff. What am I looking forward to? I mean, the recreation center is the obvious answer, but just all the additional programming and stuff that's going to come into that as well, and all the opportunities that'll be involved with that.
From Resendez, and I've lived here in Pflugerville, wow, 35, 40 years, something like that. I've been retired for about 5 years from technology in all sorts of different areas, and looking forward to more parks.
My name's Tracy. I have lived here for 12 years. I am a preschool teacher and the vice president over at the Pflugerville Area Youth Baseball and Softball League. So I'm excited for 1849.
For sure.
Hello, I'm Elise Tatum. I've lived in Pflugerville for 8.5 years. What else? I'm an outside plant engineer. Long story short, I design the fiber and cable layouts for telecom companies. And I am also looking forward to the new Parks and Rec facility and more volunteer opportunities outside.
My name's Christian Rogers. I've been in Pflugerville for, I think, coming up on 4 years now, although was Austin resident for a bit before then. I have been on the commission for 1 year. Currently, I work for a renewable energy developer. I do kind of environmental and permitting compliance work. But also, I've been trying to visit every single park that we have in Pflugerville. A little over halfway now, and my kid is a big fan of that initiative I've started. What I'm looking forward to, I'm looking forward to trying out. I assume that we're going to get to move and be one of the first groups that get to try out the new city hall for one of these meetings at some point. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to having Main Street connect with 685 at some point. And yeah, new parks, Deutschen Fest 2026. I'm also planning to adopt a piece of the trail. There's a piece by my house I've been meaning to do, so that's one of my New Year's resolutions for this year.
Awesome.
So I'm going to talk to you about that later after this.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ayman Khattab. I've been a resident of Pflugerville for about 3 years. What do? I'm a tech professional. I work on the marketing side of tech, focused on like automation and AI. What am I looking forward to in 2026? Like everybody said, parks. On a more personal level, but related to parks, hoping to explore more of Pflugerville's trails with my 5-year-old daughter. And excited to work with you all.
Well, welcome everyone.
He's behind the camera, but he's got to go too.
Okay, let's go.
Hi, I am Nathan. I am the resident broadcast technician and person who films all the events. I've been in Pflugerville for 7 years, been with the city for 3 years, and the thing that I'm excited for is all the events that Parks Crew is going to have me film.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite parts of this job.
Absolutely.
Nice.
All of our events.
Nice.
Yes, you will see me at every event.
Okay, since this is a lot of people's first meeting, and we normally we would have Trista here to talk about some of the rules and requirements of a board member in this role. She wasn't able to make it tonight, so she will bore you on another night. So we are just going to talk to you about kind of what we do here and just kind of give you an overview of the department in general. So we have 45 full-time, 18 year-round part-time, and we've got about 100 seasonal employees. And when you break it down, we would just essentially provide quality life to the residents of Pflugerville and the surrounding community. And it is a lot like the show Parks and Recreation, believe it or not. Organizational breakdown. So you have my leadership team is Jeff, Junior, and Jonathan, and Jeff handles the admin side, and then Junior handles the park side, and Jonathan handles the recreational portion. Core functions, we have park ops and maintenance, recreation program, special events, facility management, rentals, permits, events, and field allocations, and parkland trail system management. We have over 17, honestly, I think we're over 1,800 acres now, maybe even closer to 1,900 acres of parks, greenbelt, and open space. We just hit our 70th mile of trail. 33 acres of sports fields, but when phase 2 of 1849 comes on, that's almost another 40, so that gets us close to 75 acres of sports fields. 34 developed parks, 33 playgrounds, a rec center with classes, programs, citywide special events, pavilions, gazebos, picnic tables, a skate park, 3 dog parks, all those things that you'd see in a suburban-sized park and rec system you have here, including 3 outdoor pools and 2 splash pads. And on top of that, something that a lot of cities don't have, we have a 180-acre lake reservoir that is Lake Pflugerville. Park improvements, we see them out of the general fund, which is just essentially the tax base. It's everyone's tax dollars. That's our general fund. Parkland dedication and development, that is funding that comes from the developers themselves. Part of that email that Jeff sent while I was out talked about some of the functions of this group, and one of them is when developers come in. A lot of times developers will purchase a property, let's say it's 500 acres, used to be a farmland, and they want to develop it up. They want to put 500 1-acre home lots or whatever on it. That is obviously a new population of residents coming into our system, unloading into our system. So what we want to do is make sure they provide parkland dedicated to handling that group of people that come in. So it's not like, I always try to explain it, if there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, if we were a town of 7 and we had 7 acres and we added 2 more people, you would want each of those people to have their own acre. So then we're still with 9 people all having an acre each, and you don't own your acre, but you have an acre per resident, right? And so, because if not, then you start to see 9 people impacting 7 acres, and then you add 2 more people, and you have 11 people impacting 7 acres, and all of a sudden, you start to feel like what you had, you no longer have because of the development. And so, as development comes on, we try to make sure they bring on their fair share of land and development, dedication, so that the park system is growing with the city and no one area or region or entity is feeling that pinch, that it grew smartly. And so that's the whole plan of parkland dedication development, is to make sure they bring on their fair share of quality of life amenities. And at times, not every single month, but as development continues to grow, there are times it has been every single month, we'll have developers coming in and saying they're coming in and purchasing a property, they're wanting to develop, they have blank homes, whether it's single family or multifamily homes, and this is what they want to do. They want to provide the land in fee or in lieu of paying a fee, or they don't want to provide land, but they want to pay a fee to the city, and then they also want to develop that land, or we as a staff are asking them or requiring them to develop some sort of land, and we'll bring that to y'all through Jeff and his team, and y'all have the opportunity to say, yeah, we absolutely support this vision that staff is bringing, or y'all have the opportunity to say, no, we would actually like to see blank. We'd like to see it in fee and lieu instead of land, or vice versa. Ultimately, y'all's is a recommendation to planning and zoning, that they actually approve that, the planning and zoning body does. Because parkland dedication development does live in the planning section of the city.
There will be one or two next month, so you'll get a quick.
Yeah. So that's a great point. If before next month you're like, man, I'm new, or I just need a refresher, we always offer our time that you can reach out to us. One of the things that Trista will tell you is you can't email everyone, because as soon as you have created an open record where everyone's talking, it almost feels like that y'all could be talking about something and not talking about it in this open public environment where it's recorded, and then maybe the citizens don't know what's being said. And so less than a quorum, so if you have 2 or 3 people, you can have a conversation and you can talk to staff, but y'all as a whole can't email each other as a whole and have a discussion about something, because then you're kind of excluding the opportunity for the public to be listening in on that conversation. So that all being said, if you're like, wow, I don't know if I'm really ready to be able to answer those types of questions, our staff is here. You can reach out to us and say, hey, it's coming up. I'd love a little time, and our staff will divide some time out where we can meet with y'all at our offices and kind of take you through the steps, what to ask, things to look for, so we can get you prepared for those opportunities as they come. I would also say, from the 3 people that have been on here before, hopefully we try to explain it very well every time in that process. You do normally have the opportunity to ask questions of staff that are presenting and of the developer, and it's not too painful of a process, I don't think. We also have capital improvement programs, which Jeff will talk about, and we have and that's a different element of the general fund, and then we have alternative funding options. Bond, grants, PCDCs, even 4B sales tax and hot tax funds are available to the city to grow and improve this park system in one capacity or another. Committees, we have the Parks and Rec Commission, we have subcommittees under the Parks and Rec Commission. We'll be bringing those to you as well. A subcommittee, the essence of it is, let's say this committee wants to take, this board right here wants to take on something, a project, an event. What are our current ones? We have the True Care. Dark Sky. There's one more, Pollinator. So those are ones that have been previously created. We'll bring those to y'all if y'all want to keep those. And if you do you want to reappoint people to them? Or if you want to sunset those and create new subcommittees. And a subcommittee is just a group of people, smaller than a quorum, so 2 or 3, being allowed to work on something that y'all are giving them approval to work on y'all's behalf without everyone having to be involved, to make sure we're not violating one of those open records like I talked about earlier. And so let's say it's we'll just make up something, the Wiffle Ball Tournament of America. You appoint 1 or 2 people, that gives y'all the chance to go meet in person or through Zoom or even through emails and work on this, and then report back to the group without the whole group being in on all of those conversations and violating the open records. So it's a special committee formed of 3 or less of this board, making sure we're never violating any quorum, which means we're never violating any open records. And you're having discussions about that specific item that you can bring back to this group for direction. We also have bond and steering subcommittees, or committees. We do anticipate the city going out for a 2026 bond at the mid-year elections, and so there will probably be bond discussions and a bond citizen committee that is ultimately making a recommendation to council. Council has the right to appoint that committee. They may say, you know what, give me 3 people from Parks and Rec, 3 people from Planning and Zoning, and 3 people from the library, and we'll make up the committee that way. They may appoint outside of that group. So there are times that you have the opportunity to serve on one of those capacities. A special event subcommittee is a committee, that's a subcommittee of council. So that's a 2-person committee of council members doing the same thing y'all subcommittees do. This year it's Mayor Pro Tem Holliday and Councilmember Jonathan Kaufman will be serving on that subcommittee, and we'll be talking to them about special events, and they'll be giving us direction without, once again, us having to talk to council as a whole every time. And then the Parks Foundation, which is a alternative group that runs parallel to this organization and our department, and supports the needs of park initiatives and parks projects. A master plan is normally our guiding document. It's something that makes sure that if I leave, or Jeff leaves, or everyone on our leadership team leaves, the conversations that y'all had, the guiding principles that y'all are working on, isn't lost in that conversation or those moments or even among that staff. It's something that every 10 years and usually gets a 3-year or a 5-year revisit where we've gone to the city, we've engaged, we've assessed what our offerings are as a community as far as our facilities, and we've assessed what the community's needs are. And we've combined those in a document and said, okay, the community says we want a lot more outdoor pools, but we only got 2 outdoor pools. But in those 2 outdoor pools or those 3 outdoor pools, one's a water park. So we have 2 outdoor pools that serve some sort of capacity, but we've looked at it and one needs to be put down. And so we only have one that's really serving the community. So do we pursue the request to council to look at a secondary pool or whatever? And so you look at these 10-year documents as a guiding principle, and it kind of gives us our pathway for the next 10 years. We have an executive summary that we can send you, and we have the whole document. That's probably what we'll do is we'll send you both. So you have the opportunity to look at all 260 something pages. 249 pages in the actual document, and then we have a magazine version executive summary that gives you an overview of what that document says. The important thing to know is that it was approved by council, so those are kind of your marching orders. You know that it's something you can move forward with, and that a town of, at that time, 75,000, we had 30,000 touch points. So we had a huge section of the city be engaged in that process. A lot of times you see towns of our size getting 3,000 or 5,000 as far as touch points. So we were really proud of our public engagement. Actually won 3 or 4 awards from a couple of different markets in communications, parks and rec, and planning sections of the state because of the amount of touch points and some of the initiatives we did in that guiding document. Part of what came out of that document was the Trail Capital of Texas. These are pretty more up-to-date numbers. We have 70 miles of trails within Pflugerville city limits and 10, a little bit more actually now than 10 in the ETJ, which is coming out to saying we have 1.7 miles for every 2,000 residents. That number is important because the North Texas Council of Governments was the one that created the original figure, and they said you should have a mile of trail for every 2,000 residents. They thought that was a high watermark figure. These numbers are the benchmarking we did in the master plan, so these are 2023 numbers. But you'll see cities of our benchmark: Round Rock, Cedar Park, Allen, Conroe, Georgetown, Kyle, Leander, New Braunfels, Shirt, San Marcos, North Richland Hills, and Pearland. You'll see the population as the first line, the miles of trails they have in their city, and how many miles per 2,000 residents. Now remember, the standard was set that you should have a mile for every 2,000. You'll see that only 2 at that time in 2023 even had over a mile. That was us and Allen, and we rushed to beat them to that Trail Capital of Texas designation, which the governor signed last year, and that's a 10-year designation. And believe I've reminded Alan every time I talk to him that we're the Trail Capital of Texas. But you can see some of these other cities, some of these cities that maybe when you talk to people from other cities talks about how well they're doing as a park and rec agency. You know, Round Rock, for example, 120,000 people, but at that time had about 20 miles of trails. And so, you know, we were very proud, and anyone that is a Pflugerville resident knows the trail system that we have and the impact that it has. But it was incredible to see some of these numbers. These numbers were just our benchmarking cities. That was the initial first step, and we were like, wow, we really have something here. But if we're going to go after a trail capital designation, if we're really going to say we're the best in Texas, we kind of wanted to compare ourselves to other cities. So you can even see how we compared against those large cities that you always think of: Austin, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio. And even more so, the really popular DFW cities that you often hear about, other than some of the ones that we were comparing our to, like Allen, for example, Frisco, McKinney, Plano, and these cities that you hear a lot about how it's an incredible city with an incredible park system and an incredible quality of life. But even at those numbers, we have them beat on the trails per capita. Another thing, once again, you can see the numbers. This is all from the master plan program. is there is 82% of Pflugerville's population is within a 10-minute walk to a park. I know you're thinking in your head, okay, what's the highest? Obviously, it's 100%. How many cities have 100%? I think there's 3 in the country. It's like Seattle, Boston, and Portland or something. There's very few even in the top 90. Our master plan lays out a goal for us to be at 94% at the end of our master plan, which in hindsight might be a little ambitious, since we're 3 years into it or whatever, and I think we're still in the 80s for sure.
We're at 84 now.
Yeah, so we would love to be at 94 as well. I think that'd be one of the highest in the state for sure. But you can see how some of the cities that we were tracking during the master plan process, these are our benchmarking cities. These are those cities we were showing you on the last slide, the large DFW city, the largest cities in the state, and then the DFW cities. And then just some other highly, what we believe to be some highly respected cities that we hear about along the way in 2023 when we were doing the master plan and the percentage. And you can see how we stack up. And so when you talk about a city that has more trails per capita than anybody else, at this point has every one of our playgrounds with some sort of shade, whether it's integrated shade or 4-pool shade. When the average age of our playground is 5 years or less, and that's over 34 playgrounds. And you can see the majority of our population lives within a 10-minute walk. And it was actually higher within a walk to a trail, right? It was over 90-something% of our population was within a half mile of the trail. And so very few cities that we've been able to find in the state of Texas hits those types of numbers. So you've got a park system to be proud of for sure. Main roles of the commission, this board right here, is make recommendations on management, maintenance, use, and improvement of park and rec facilities, make recommendations concerning the acquiring of real property and dedication and development fees. We kind of talked about that. Make recommendations regarding recreational programs and events. Submit a staff-led 5-year CIP, a capital improvement program. You'll get to go through that process. Serve as the tree care advisory board and host quarterly meetings. That's part of the charter. And you, if that wasn't all enough, you also get to serve as the Deutschenfest Advisory Committee. So we appreciate all the hard work you'll be doing for us this year. That said, I think Jeff's up, unless y'all had any questions. All right.
I'm gonna steal this.
Well, I still have this.
Okay.
I mean, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, please.
Don't use the scroll wheel.
Okay, so,
Just watch what he
as
says.
we were-
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's like all day.
There you go.
We're not going home tonight. I got a new game.
I have to gather myself. As he mentioned, so we've got our capital improvement projects that are ongoing. We'll give y'all updates on those at every meeting. And then the 5-year CIP that Shane just mentioned, that will be in February and March. So we'll bring y'all the 5-year outlook on our projects. Y'all will get to discuss and think through that, and then at the March meeting, we'll go through approval. And y'all's approval essentially sends that document and parkland dedication to planning and zoning, who then goes through the same thing and submits their recommendations to city
You ever
council.
seen that meme where it's a small domino to a big domino to like this huge slab of concrete? Y'all are that first domino.
Yeah.
Like, what y'all do, everyone
starts
in
here.
this city is waiting on y'all to approve the CIP before everyone else starts to get their CIP together. So it is kind of funny that, I mean.
We make sure to use all the time we can.
That's right. We've been hearing for months they're all waiting on us, but y'all get time.
So for starters, we'll talk about the Monarch Recreation Center. So for those that aren't quite as aware of what this facility, what the details are, it's 129,000 square feet. It's actually 139,000 square feet, but if you see that white car on the side, that's actually retail space that's going to be on the first level. And so 10,000 of that is not ours, but it still wouldn't be the first, even if it were, unfortunately. Alan has us beat there, so I'm sure they throw that back in your face on the trail thing.
They do.
What's their square footage? 149. Yeah.
If I could have found a way to get this guy, believe me, I would have. I'd have fit something.
Just a few extra $1 million so you can brag to Alan.
Out of curiosity, what's Clay Madsen?
68, 70, something like that. Yeah.
Tiny.
DOS Rec is in the 80s. Thrive's in the 80s. Grapevine
Yeah, I
Rec
mean-
is about 107.
Really, it's, Allen, us,
There's
Large Gap,
quite a divide.
everyone
Yeah.
else. So that's something to be really excited
It'll be the
about.
largest in Central Texas. Okay, everybody.
What did Alan do to you, Shane?
I know.
It's true. We need answers. We're going to go over the floor plan, but it's going to have 4 high school-sized basketball courts, and then you can play 8 younger games on those. 4 volleyball courts, 12 pickleball courts, fitness cardio area, indoor aquatics, an indoor turf ramp, a turf room with a turf ramp up to the second floor fitness.
Alan doesn't have that.
No, they don't. An adventure track around the gym. We'll talk about what that means, why it's not just a track. Recreation and event rooms, a multi-generational lounge on the first floor in the lobby area, basically an indoor playground, an indoor play space, and a child watch area that you can't just leave your kids all day, but you'll be able to bring the kiddos while you go for a workout and have somebody else watch them for a little bit. And then the top floor, you see with that patio, is a 300-person event space, and there's also a teaching kitchen. There's a kitchen that could be used for catering, but it also is going to be used for cooking classes. So, can I move the mouse here? Yeah. So this is level 1, and so some of these other rec centers that we have mentioned are sort of sprawling, so they might have been on a larger acreage, maybe outside of town or in a growing area. Because this is right in the middle of town, our new downtown, we had to go up. So the first floor, it's got all the gym space, which you can see is a pretty hefty amount of our square footage. This is the retail space here. This is Main Street. The lobby, you come in, multi-gen lounge, child watch area, indoor playground. Here's our administrative offices. Here's that indoor turf space, which is not quite big enough for soccer games or anything, but we imagine a lot of people are going to do workouts down there, CrossFit type things, but it's enough space for small
Skills clinics.
skills clinics and things like that. Where did it go? You've got the locker rooms here with a sauna. We tried to get a cold plunge, couldn't fit it. And then the indoor aquatics area. And so this indoor aquatics area has got a couple lanes, so it can be used for workout, but it's mostly centered around recreation. So you've got a little wave pool type thing here, and a lot of it's multi-use too. So kids will have a good time going around this, but this can also be used for therapy. So someone going against the current, which someone coming back from an injury or a senior who's doing some physical therapy. It's going to have some, I don't know what you call this, splash play amenities for the smaller kids.
The 0 entry.
It'll have
a giant pecan tree.
it's going to be big shady inside of the aquatics area. It'll have 2 slides. One is a traditional lay-down water slide, and you would wonder why I need to say lay-down water slide, because of course. This one will go outside and then come back in. And then the second slide is the first indoor stand-up slide in the United States. So I don't fully know how it works. Shane might be able to explain it better. But we think
So you
teens are going to like it.
Stand up on it.
Very articulate.
Very.
Very Tom Cruise in that movie where he slides across in his socks. That's right.
Yep, that's exactly right. God, that was so good. That was so much better than your explanation, Shane. So you can see the stand-up slide kind of goes over the pool here. And these are some renderings. There's the turf area.
Is that heated indoors?
Yeah. It'll stay at a certain temperature. And what we thought is let's make it just warm enough that the swimmers hate it, and just cold enough that the families hate it.
Yeah.
That's what we found.
So like
It is a
everywhere
tough
else.
balance. We've learned a lot about water temperature and
Yeah, we would have loved to have been
strict
able to
people
put
are.
some walls up and really divide some spaces where it could be a little warmer for those folks that are swimming, or a little colder for the folks that are swimming, because they obviously get internally heated up as they're doing the laps, but it's a little warmer for those families. But just with the footprint we had, even though it's going to be one of the largest in the state, we still would have needed more space. And at some point, we've kind of joked, but every square footage cost us something. And so we were just at budget, And that being said, the budget, and we talked about alternative funding sources. This is a bond, like a $48 million bond, which would have purchased about a half of this rec center. and then the 4B sales tax from PCDC funding the other half. And so, we were pretty tapped out of those two reserves, and doing some public-private partnerships with the developer to purchase our strength equipment in the weight room and a couple other things. And so, as much as we would loved a couple more square foot, it was, at some point, was costing us more than we could do anything else with. So.
One thing I didn't mention on the first page, so these are sort of the things that would have to be explained to you, but the design team essentially used trails and nature and parks as the influence and inspiration behind their design. And so that's going to be part of the art, I think, that's in here. You don't really see it on renderings because they're not putting the art in there. But so like they call this area the forest. This is the bridge here, and I think they have like the trail. The hallway is the trail. Dry Creek. That's right. And so that's going to be really neat as we get further into what the art looks like inside. But second floor, you come up the stairs right in the middle here. This is like looking down into the lobby. You've got about, 8,500 square feet or something?
88, 85, something like that, yep.
Square feet of fitness space. So this will be, and it's going to be state-of-the-art equipment, powerlifting equipment, but then all of the machines and everything. So anyone of any skill level, any age is going to find what they need in that fitness space. And then we've got 2 fitness rooms here that will have these garage doors that can open out. So in those few, those like 3 weeks in Texas that it's really nice outside, you can open those up.
Weeks.
That's right. No,
They have their own.
that'd be
air
random.
conditioning
There'll be one in June
Yep,
and there'll
cut
be
it
one
off.
in December.
Yeah, it'll be one in December for sure. Yeah. It'll be nice that day.
Here's the turf ramp that comes up from that turf area, and then it goes into another smaller turf area. Where there'll be some kind of almost like cross-training type of equipment there.
It also has a set of stairs.
And it's stadium
there is stairs.
So it's not part of the egress that you would require. We were able to cover that through some of the other stair spots. So literally like people that would go to a stadium, but it's 90 or 100 degrees and they can't run those stadium steps, could run this hill internally and get obviously a shorter workout, but they could do that workout without having to be outside.
Because when coach said, hey, we're going to run bleachers today, everyone got super excited. And so we're making people do that on their own.
That's right.
This is the adventure track. So this first circle here, this is the gym. So this is over the basketball area. This first track is all at grade, or however you would say that's flat. And then these 2 sections here start to go up. So it gets a little higher, you get a little incline. And then on this side, we're going to have some other workout equipment and some things that you could do here, plyometrics, stretching. And then here, there's stairs that go to nowhere, but stairs down and then up, stairs down and then up, so you can add some additional cardio to your walk. If
Alan doesn't have stairs to go to nowhere.
They don't. Nope. Their stairs go places.
That's right.
Yeah. Who wants that? And then the third floor is mostly event space. So we have a lot of recreation classes. So you've got the 300-person event space that'll be, available for reservations. I imagine we'll have a lot of organizations using this for their ceremonies or functions or galas, because it's going to have this great patio looking out over the new plaza space in downtown, looking out to City Hall. And then, like I said, these are multi-use spaces. So they might, in the morning, be hosting an art class, and at night they might be hosting, some meeting or something. And then here is a kitchen that we actually had quite a few meetings about the design of, probably more than a lot of the other rooms, just because it was tough to fit. Someone who needs a kitchen for catering or work needs a lot different space than someone who's using it to teach a cooking class. And our design team did a pretty awesome job of figuring out how to make it multifunctional.
And then we thought, let's put it on the 3rd floor.
And then we put it on the 3rd floor. There's an elevator. They'll be fine. I think that's it. But you got a good view. I mean, this is going to be a beautiful space. It's got windows here looking out into the plaza. This deck space, I think when we have concerts out in the plaza, is going to come at a premium. Might have to charge VIP.
We'll just put park commission up there.
That's right.
I was going to say, is our meeting room still going to be adjacent to the basketball court so we don't miss out on the...
Yeah, we'll
Pipe this out.
pipe it in.
Okay.
The theme of that 3rd floor is the night sky, so hence the halo lights and stuff like that. It's supposed to mimic stars in the sky, and then you could actually go to the patio and see stars in the sky.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty fantastic. And there's not a lot of tall buildings in Pflugerville, so you're going to have a good view. But that is the Monarch. Any questions?
Two questions. You had mentioned, given that it's going to be in the new downtown, so we had to build up. But is there any thinking in terms of utilizing some of the outdoor space, like having seating or, I don't know, some sort of play area, anything like
Yeah,
that?
we didn't, it's not really a park project, so we didn't include it. But so we've got the rec center, and you've seen it all getting built now. So City Hall's across the street from the rec center. To the west, like right here, is a pretty giant, yeah, you can't really see
Well,
any
the
of these.
plaza, but those doors will open.
Yep, these doors will open to the plaza right
okay.
here. These, I mean,
So you'll have this
Huge windows
turf
here.
indoor-outdoor option.
Okay, nice.
So when we open those garage doors, you can extend that turf programming.
Okay.
And then there's a bit of a trail which you can see there, and on the other side of the trail, that'll also be turf
Nice.
in the plaza where you could continue to extend programming, or you could just have a Tai Chi class happening here, but people are doing sprints on this portion as well, it's separated by concrete and
Yeah.
landscape border.
And so, like you can see here, they call this space the trailhead. And so right in this area is like a lot of nature play amenities, and it's very shaded right here.
There's a water
There's like
feature.
a little water play, looks like a creek. And
Playground
then
area.
on the other side, they're gonna have, those like outdoor ping pong tables and cornhole and some things where people can get out there and play. Because the idea is that as this further develops, on the other side of the plaza will be some sort of commercial that they're thinking like one of those food halls. And then the plan for future phase of downtown east is north of this will be mixed use residential and retail. So retail on the bottom, residential on top. So it's going to be a whole destination.
Awesome.
The outdoor space, yeah, we don't have a lot of it. Like I said, some of those rec centers are in parks. So there's a lot of green space around it. But that plaza is going to serve that function.
Don't forget the stage in the farmer's market area as well.
Yeah, and there's a stage in this plaza, so we'll host shows, concerts there.
Awesome.
Farmers market will eventually move to the plaza pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as it's
There's
open.
space, there's a pedestrian walkway, so it's essentially a street, but it's only allowed to have people on it.
Perfect.
And there will be space there for, I think it's 50 farmers market. Perfect.
There will also, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, it's one of those things that it's the intention of this city to provide this resident base, something that we haven't seen anywhere else with this. I mean, you've seen a domain type of location in a couple different places. You've seen rec centers, obviously. Like Jeff said, if this rec center was built in almost any other facility, it'd be on 13 and a half, 15 acres of land.
Yeah.
It would be one story, maybe two. And you've seen downtowns and city hall reboots in one way or another. This is saying, what if we do all that in one spot? Gotcha.
Yeah, even across the street here, there'll be a parking garage. And the street side of that, the main street side of that, will eventually be retail. But for a short amount of time, it's going to be some outdoor play amenities as well, until that gets developed further.
So speaking of retail, who determines what type of retail establishments are going to be?
Yep, so this is called a P3, it's a public-private partnership. And so there's a developer, so you can see this, Griffin Swinnerton is the developer, BRS and FGMA are our architects on this project. So Griffin Swinnerton is the developer on this, and so they're managing all of the retail. And so you've got 4 spaces here. 2 of these are meant to be restaurants or some sort of food service. And then you've got 2 like shopping, retail. The idea, I think the perfect world is this is like some sort of, I don't know, health food smoothie place.
Right.
And then this on the corner, it's got like a little outdoor patio, and it's going to be a sit-down restaurant.
It's what they call that.
What are you hoping for?
A mattress store.
A mattress, yeah. They could also turn this entire thing into a mattress firm.
I'll say cranky
How big
So-
and ironwork.
Question.
Uh-huh.
As far as like age for this, so yes, you have like the kids area, but really you're looking at older teens to adults.
I mean, for the most part. So we're gonna have something for everybody, and that's the other tough thing too. Is we wanted this to be multi-generational, and finding something for everyone is tough. You run out of space very quickly. So like I said,
There's
I
an
think.
esports lounge on this floor.
So I was gonna say, so right here is an esports lounge. Again, might be targeted towards young teens up to older teens. Really,
Basketball
really
court.
anybody at this point.
Basketball court obviously will be open to
Yeah.
youth.
And it's going to be heavily programmed. So
Right.
fun camp, things like that will be moved to the recreation center.
And Jonathan's team, if you take a program with your parents and sign off on some stuff, younger adults will be able to also use the weight room under some sort of parameters, right? So we haven't figured out yet. It's going to somewhat be on our liability with these machines. But if our insurance company says 13 or 14, for example, then we'll do a program where anyone that's 13 or 14, that their parents have signed off on this, parent and the child set in the class, and they set in the hour-long, 2-hour-long, whatever class on the rules, regulations, how we expect you to use the equipment, re-rack, whatever. They'll get a band or something that allows them to be underaged in that facility, working out in eye shot of their parents until they're 16 or something, and they can work out without parents or whatever. And so, you know, we're trying to try as many different age groups as possible.
And as far as the younger kids too, so all of our programming that's here at the rec center now will move over there. So like, we have a baton twirling class right now, but with a gym, only one gym, you can only have one of those. And so they're splitting half the gym with another group. But you can imagine if there's a taekwondo class, a dance class, all those things in the gym, you could have a baton twirling on the turf. But that will all be contract programmers, so that would be citizens, teachers, those kind of things coming and teaching those classes with us as partners.
We'll also have gym dividers that allow that huge basketball space to be divided into four equal parts. So you could have
4 or 8.
Is it?
Both.
So it's the 4 big basketball
Is it even
courts
Right?
that
Are we
would
gonna have small
then,
dividers?
I can't remember if this.
We talked
At
about
least
that. I don't
4.
remember if we're
They
going
might
to do
have
that.
had value engineers.
That's true.
But it's going to provide us the opportunity to cut this basketball court into at least halves, if not quarters, and say, y'all can do pickleball there, you can do basketball or volleyball here, still can be a Zumba class or some sort of workout class going on here, and free play for a dad and a son or a mother and a daughter can be able to do something as well. So we're trying to make sure we're hitting every available population has the opportunity to find something that really interests them.
And I
And then
think, go ahead.
sorry, do you go to the public to ask what kind of classes that they want to
Yeah.
see there?
Yeah, leading up to all this, we're gonna be doing a huge engagement on what they're wanting to see and what instructors are interested in these spaces. That'll be over this next year.
Yeah, and part of that, so yes, and it's also about who's available and who is willing to teach certain classes. I mean, I think programming for families with younger kids it's less about the facility, more about the programs. So like I mean, to be honest with you, this area of the aquatics is really mostly programmed for families with young kids. And so, you know, we try to find the balance. The stand-up slide honestly is try to get teens involved because teens are the most difficult demographic to find something that they like. And they might even tell us they don't like it, but we know they do.
And we're trying to gamify the slides where you take the slide and you go down in 15 seconds, you can challenge your buddy to get it. So we're trying to do that. We also have the party rooms, which I think will be
How many are there?
two.
And everything looks small
we
here,
didn't
but you
talk
gotta
about
remember this is huge.
the recovery area, second floor.
Oh, yep. So, is it here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna have, and this won't be for kids, but we're gonna have like a recovery area with
Massage chairs.
massage
TVs.
chairs, sort of a tranquil space. So if you go work out, pre or post workout, you need a little place to detox. We'll have that space too. But I think largely any recreation center is not necessarily going to have a bunch of stuff for young kids. It's about the programming that goes on in the rec center. There will always be something going on.
Question, I know this is meant to be a rec center, but has there been any thought about, I don't want to call it a co-working space, but somewhere where folks can work on their laptops? And I'm thinking, especially if parents are coming, dropping off their kids for programming, and then being able to just watch them, and in the meantime, not having to leave.
Yeah, so there's two options. The lobby space, like I said, all this looks pretty small. This is a massive facility, so this is actually pretty large. We've got a lounge here that would be good for that. It's kind of like I don't want this to sound like it's not as cool as it is, but it's kind of like a hotel lounge lobby area. It's got tables and we'll have Wi-Fi, and you've got the lobby area. But then across the street at City Hall, there's going to be a cafe. And like a coffee shop type of thing on the first floor. That's not just for City Hall employees. It's open to the public. That's going to have a lot of space for that.
And just the open areas will have a lot of, not just the lobby, but beyond the lobby, in these
Kinda
open
see it.
areas, you're going to see a lot of spots where people could sit. So this group, BRS out of Colorado, does a really good job of maximizing the opportunities a footprint allows. You won't see a lot of hallways in their designs when they can. And if it's a hallway with some sort of seat or a locker off of it or a restroom off of it. So it's not just this
Empty
sterile
space.
school spot taking you from one place to one B. It's multi-use along the way. Perfect.
The parking garage across the street, how large is that going to be? So obviously this is going to be a very large facility and have hundreds and hundreds of
That's a
people in it.
great question.
Yeah, we try to stay as uninvolved as we can with other parts.
Large to
all
quite
we care about
large?
is
I don't know.
So
We
no,
just applaud it. We love having it.
That's right.
Before they were just going to, the discussion before was they were just going to take a field and put some concrete out there and plant some trees. And you were just going to, obviously there's going to be lines and stuff, but they were going to try to make it as shaded as possible. But whatever we got was much better than the original discussions. We were excited. We were so excited to get a parking garage. I don't even think we asked how much.
Yeah.
Because where do they park if that's full?
There's street parking
Oh, there is street.
as well.
And there will be parking up here until this develops.
Yeah, there'll be
So
parking.
that will be a
there.
parking lot.
That's similar to what I did describe. There'll be some parking lot parking up there as well.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask too, I know in the keeping of like Trail Capital of Texas, how's the trail connectivity going on like connecting, Saxony and
Yep.
like where are the main like connection points going to be for that eventually?
So envision the distance between Old Town and what it will be downtown east. So what we have currently and what we've purchased from that church, and we're going over the creek right now. There is a trail there right now. It's Myrtle Pfluger. It's going to have this opportunity to connect to that walkway. We've even talked about trying to play with some of the depth there. Could we do a swing under the bridge and some play areas there? So we're really trying to maximize even what these little moments along the trail will provide. But you're going to have connection essentially, I guess you would have it from Piccadilly all the way across to Bowles, including this space here. I mean, you'll have connection. You might want a vehicle because of the distance, but you wouldn't need a vehicle to get all the way, almost essentially from the farthest west part of our town to at least halfway through the eastern side of our town. With this connection, you'll be able to connect to it. The outdoor fitness space that's at Gillen Creek is off of it. The outdoor pool obviously is off of it. The destination play will be off of it and under 685.
Which we'll talk about that here.
Right, and so there's a lot of, we feel, in fact, the previous board got to see us talk about the trail corridor. It's about this trail corridor. When you think of all the really great things, when you think of Finnig, you think of this facility, you think of Gillen Creek, you think of Pfluger Park, you think of Bowles, which is becoming the destination play, and you going all the way out to Windermere Park. I don't know of very many park systems in the state, nor less the country, that has that many really developed parks along a creek system with at most of the time, a 10-foot trail. And so that trail corridor study is saying, now that we've got this infrastructure almost no one else has, how do we maximize it in a way that everyone else would be freaking jealous of us? And so that's part of this. Alan, right? What would Alan do? No, so we're gonna try to make sure we're really maximizing the infrastructure that we're really fortunate to have.
And bike parking, right?
That's right, absolutely.
I'm sorry. Any other questions about the rec? Oh, I can do it this way. Look at that. That gets away from me.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
And I've got this button.
Okay, you stay away. All right, so 1849 Park Phase 2, you'll be really excited to hear. construction is nearly complete. So you can see they got, where's my mouse? They got the grass laid, they got the dirt out, and so that'll be ready for play in March. You got to give this grass time to root and establish before play begins. This is that, I don't know what it's called, junior sports TIF?
TIF turf.
TIF turf.
Yep. So this is Bermuda grass that is built for play, but it does have to establish. They just got it out, and then the time of year that they got it out, it's a little tough. But we're getting really close. This facility, it's not huge. It's 3 fields, but it's beautiful. We were walking it a couple weeks ago. I'm not sure I've seen a better viewing experience, playing experience on a baseball field in a Parks and Rec facility in any parks I've been to. So out here on 1849, what they had, the reason this took so long for construction was this, the slope of this property was pretty drastic. And so when they were going out and doing the grading, basically each one of these fields is at a different elevation. So the first one you'll see, I can go to the aerial map. This one here is higher than this one, which is about 10 feet higher than this one. So when you're standing here, you can see all the fields, but this is it's almost got stadium seating instead of just bleachers because it's sort of built into the slope of this property. So it's gonna be a pretty incredible space. It's got batting cages. Obviously it's got 2 baseball fields and a softball field, but these are multi-use. You can play those sports on any one. And then an event lawn. And so you've got the concession stand and restrooms here, a play space that is shaded by bright green shade sails. And then once we get a little closer, you'll see they just got some really cool details, like this thing in the center here. It's seating, but when you look at it from the top, it looks like a baseball or a softball. It's got the stitching.
Monsters.
The what?
The monsters in the outfield.
Oh yes, so
My
these
cans?
are 200 foot fences. And so what they did in design is they this is a regular sized fence, and then it goes up in the middle, so it gives it a little bit extra distance. Maybe if you've got some older divisions playing out there. We got to come up with some good green monster name for those, like the Fenway.
Gotcha, yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to come up with something with a PF, I assume, or else we run out of town.
What's seating for there?
How many?
Like, is it bleachers on grass or is it?
Bleachers.
Cement bleachers.
Okay.
Yeah. So and there's some grass spaces that
If
people
you go
will
back,
be
you
able to
kind
view
of
too.
see it.
No, I can't.
You
Right
kind of
here.
Yeah,
see
so
it.
this is
okay.
bleachers
okay,
here.
so it's like Hutto.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
I like it.
Okay.
You will have to, since people are right behind home plate, you'll have to put the signs up and say, "Don't talk to my umpires, please."
We're gonna
Yeah.
make it super big.
But it's going to be pretty fantastic. We're really excited about it.
So are we.
Yeah, y'all are probably more excited. And then, of course, Trail Capital of Texas. So you've got a trail that goes all the way around the fields for folks that are out there on a Saturday and want to go for a walk. Any
We
questions?
anticipate the event lawn space being a spot where teams can get there ahead of time and do some throwing drills, stretching drills as well, and so they can, obviously we'll double for star parties or other things that we'll do out there, but those are actual
This
spots
is
that
just event lawn.
teams
Okay.
can
That's
gather
just,
around
that's what
and
it
use.
is. Yep, just open.
I got hit in the mouth
And then on the
once
other
doing
side
a
of
warm-up.
Did you?
Like,
Like that.
That'll learn
Here?
you,
right
huh?
there, yeah.
That's
all of
Person
that.
that's all
behind
just
me
going to be
practicing too, and I
landscaping.
just
Okay.
hey,
So,
turned
yeah.
around.
Most of the grass, I think. So you got a lot of space. Teams are waiting or something.
Yeah.
Hopefully that is
Yeah.
also,
Fun.
yeah.
Okay.
Right here,
Okay.
food trucks.
Just to
There's
clarify, when you say events, it's not just
pedestals
like
with a
teams
hookup.
putting on events, like
No, that'll be our city putting on the event.
other organizations. Okay, gotcha.
I don't know if it's big enough. It's definitely not big enough. But I was thinking it'd be an awesome idea to put the Easter egg hunt here because it looks like a big Easter egg. But it's not big enough.
Just separate your fields by ages. So do like your 4 and 6-year-olds on one field and your 8 and 10
There
year
you
olds.
go, John.
They still wouldn't fit.
Yeah, no,
It's-
it takes
we
up
have a
this-
massive turnout.
it takes
for
up
the
this
big
entire
day.
space.
Well, I know, but if you spread them out like time blocks, right?
We already do.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know.
crazy.
I've never been.
It's crazy.
We had 2 pods last year. There were
Well, you got to get 6.
12,000 eggs, and this year we're going up to like 16,000. But there were probably 5,000 people.
I
We
got pushed
also
out
have
of the way by
7
mom looking
fields
for
over
his old
here.
nest.
We could split them up even more.
Yeah. Okay, so Kelly Lane Park, this is the last of our undeveloped parks that we're still working through on the 2020 bond. So we're almost complete with that project. So this is an active construction. I don't have any cool pictures because it just looks like dirt right here, right now. Supposed to be complete this summer, early this summer. This is going to have playground, you can see here, and it's going to have our first outdoor pickleball courts within our park system. There's going to be 3 of them there. And it's also going to have restroom, shade structure, and then a trail loop that goes through the park here. And a pollinator garden, of course. Lake Pflugerville Phase 2. So design on this will begin in February or March. We just finished up with our interviews for design teams on this project. So this is the northern portion of Lake Pflugerville. So you got the beach area. You've got a wetlands boardwalk, and then the Silent Harbor Loop, which is this road here, Trailhead. So this is on the northwest side of the lake. So this is from the 2019 preliminary design report, which was based on the 2014 master plan for Lake Pflugerville. So to be honest with you, some of this stuff is a little dated. So this is great to start from, but our design team, what we're going to ask of them is to sort of relook at this and come up with some alternative, modernized designs. But you're going to have some enhanced hardscapes, a lot of play amenities up in this area because right now it's a very small play area, and then you're really going there for either the beach or the trail. But this is going to become a pretty cool destination that we're very excited about. And then just additional parking, about 40 parking spaces, a small bathroom, and additional access to the trail over here on the northwest side. And then one thing we're all very excited about, and who knows if it takes this shape, this wasn't engineering, this was just a concept design, but we're going to do some sort of boardwalk that goes over the wetlands area on this side of the lake. So that'll have obviously just the recreational, peaceful component, but then some educational component about local wetlands and things like that too. So we're really, really excited about this project. Like I said, we'll start design here pretty soon. This is from the 2020 bond as well. Any questions about that before we move on? Destination play space. So the RFQ, the request for qualifications for a design team on this, closes in a few days, next week, whenever January 22nd is. This is at existing Bowles Park, so right north of us, across this little tree line. This is going to be a destination playground. Hopefully will attract people from not only across the city, but across the region to our area. The goal here is for it to be multi-generational, for it to be all abilities, also an economic driver, especially with downtown East being constructed, so that it's going to have those connections there. The Pflugerville Parks Foundation is going to assist with some fundraising efforts. We have a little over $5 million for this project, and the Parks Foundation wants to see if they can up that number. So they'll be, as we go through design, reaching out to the community. They're a year or two old, so they really haven't been able to ask the community for funds on any project yet. So this will sort of be their first entry into doing that. And this is 2 phases, so only the first is funded through the 2020 bond, but basically it's 2 separate phases. This is going to be sort of everything in this open area of Bowles Park, and I used a picture. This is downtown Cary Park in Cary, North Carolina, and they sort of had the same idea. This is a little bit bigger scale. Cary's a very affluent, a much larger community than ours, but they had this open space in their downtown area, and they did this almost immersive, I've tried to tell people it's not just off the shelf like playground amenities. It's utilizing the topography. It's being a lot more creative. It's like nature play. So they got a slide that kind of goes through the landscaping here. There's a couple examples of that in Austin too, if you've been to Alliance Children's Garden, Kingsbury Commons at Peace Park. It's being done well here in Austin area as well. This is just such a great example because they use this again in their downtown area, and I've got a few other photos.
Waterloo has some of that.
Waterloo, yep. To really bring people to their to their downtown and then have them stay. So this is sort of our North Star. We're looking towards Cary, North Carolina to get some design inspiration, but it's not just play amenities. And they have a playground that's pretty incredible. It looks like a huge cardinal that kids get in and play in. But I think we can envision what a playground looks like, even a really cool, creative playground. What I wanted to show was, again, they used some elevation here to kind of go above the park. They've got these green spaces that's got great shade, seating area. People are doing a lot of different things. You can do yoga or fitness classes, or just on a nice Saturday, people can come out here and lay. And then they've got these spaces where people can just relax, and it doesn't have to be a space that's either just for seniors or just for families that have a young child. It's got something for everybody. That's sort of our goal with this facility.
We're
This-
excited about this for a lot of different reasons and the possibilities, but one of them for sure, and talking earlier about the parking garage. Right now, projecting distance, the heart of the plaza and the parking garage is a quarter mile from where the heart of this new playground will be. So not only could you be at the rec center or at the plaza or at City Hall or eating at the restaurant or whatever that's happening there, you're a quarter mile away from along a really nice wide 10-foot and sometimes 12-foot wide trail that is well lit and safe and well maintained by Junior and his team. You're a quarter mile away from a destination play space. So people can park at one location, the whole family can go to one spot, or vice versa, and really have this cool experience that I don't think a lot of other park systems get to offer their community.
Yep. And so going back to the question you had, Christian, about sort of connections along the trail, what we sort of envision, and we need someone much smarter than us, like an architect, to show us what this can actually look like, but Carrie did a great job, is, again, phase one of this is going to be Bowles Park, this sort of open area. Phase two will be looking at creating this type of amenity as you move closer to downtown east. So going along the tree line, across the creek, under the street, instead of that just being a blank trail, kind of going back to what Shane was saying about you've got swings and you got placemaking opportunities between what will be, will be Bowles Park with this destination play and downtown. It's not just a trek, it's the whole thing is an experience.
And since it'll be an all-village play park, elevating decks and access in such a way. And so, I think any able-bodied person as a child, or maybe even as an adult, have enjoyed the opportunity of climbing or seeing any type of perspective from a tree line, right, of some height. We're hoping to provide some opportunity for anyone, a senior with limited mobility or someone in a wheelchair, to be able to do that as well, to get up into that tree line that we're going to try to protect, but use the elevation, as you see here in Cary, as this example, to elevate you and bring you back down into different pockets of play and community. And so we're really excited about this RFQ, RFP process, and who we're going to get interest from as far as what the design's going to look like, and really designing a space that not only will everyone here be proud of, but it'll be the envy of a lot of people in other Central Texas cities.
I have a question, and I could have just missed it from last year in one of the meetings I missed. But a lot of this sounds like what was originally a plan for the water tower park?
Old Town Park?
Old Town Park?
Yeah.
Did that get moved, or is
No.
it just another?
Old Town Park got approved by council with
Okay.
the design as it was. There is no real funding for Old Town Park is
Gotcha.
the problem. And it's one of those that if you just want to take Old Town, which is about an acre of land, a little more, a little less, and you just want to replace the playground, we could have done that. We do that very well here. We could have picked a really cool vendor, could have done something unique and replaced it. The challenge that we had heard from city leadership at that time is they wanted something unique that celebrated the combination of the water tower that had been decommissioned but taken care of, and that park, and we were putting it together in the celebration of what that could be, and the educational opportunities and the fellowship opportunities that come from a spot like that. So we did that, very ambitious design, with a price tag that would be phased out, but in some capacity could go over $4 or $5 million or more. And so that'll have to go on this bond. So that'd be one of those things that we'll take to the bond voters and say, hey, this is the design or the concept. This is what we really like. And if voters go, yeah, that's something we really want to see, they have the opportunity to stamp their approval on it, and then we'll have the funding for it. We can start to move forward on that.
Awesome.
But I think a lot of the elements, I mean,
Same
it's
type of-
Similar.
very
yeah.
similar.
I feel like
Yeah.
y'all referenced Carrie in that one as well. In the
Yeah,
Cardinal.
I'm sure we did. We're obsessed with this
We're
place.
big
but-
fans of that, Gary, because no one else is doing what they did with theirs.
Yeah.
And it revitalized. We get geeked up about parks. Obviously, we're park nerds, but what they did with their downtown space and how they revitalized that whole downtown with saying, we can do this with quality of life. We talk about this from time to time. There are a lot of different levers that you can pull to make a resident happy. You can lower their taxes. You can have great schools, great roads. You can be really close to the AMC theater. You know what I mean? Like, there are different levers that people can pull in the planning side and the public works side. Parks doesn't get a lot of access to those. What we get access to is raising the quality of life of the residents and lowering their envy of other cities. And we think we do a good job of that. And it's kind of the things we talk about a lot is continually raising the quality of life. And when we all first got here, you know, Junior's been here longer than the rest of us, but you hear at different times, well, Round Rock has this, or Georgetown has this, or Hutto has this, and we hear that less and less. And so continuing to raise quality of life through our programs, our events, and our facilities, our parks, our trails, and lowering the envy they have of the cities around them, what other people have, is been what we've been hyper-focused on, at least for my 6.5, 7 years. And it's these types of facilities that not only lowers their envy, but it kind of raises the envy of other cities of ours. So
Yeah.
that's the plan.
We expect y'all to be talking about us in your meetings in Georgetown. Yeah, and
We'll
These-
send the literature if you need it.
these spaces are a huge, the other component to that is these spaces are a huge economic driver.
Yep.
I mean, this is bringing people to downtown. So if you own a restaurant right here, why wouldn't you not want this in your front yard, you know?
So Bowls right now is pretty much a big open field. So is all that open field space going to be converted, or will there still be some open field space there?
Probably be some parking. There might even be the need to clear some trees in certain sections. It at first will be a laydown for the expansion of
Wastewater.
Emmanuel and the wastewater interceptor, two things that are desperately needed to help the city as it grows and to expand better traffic. But yeah, the plan in some ways is to maximize. I think we did a comparison from Bowles to the all buildings plan in Round Rock, and they were almost spot on, the same amount of acres. I can't remember either of them now, 2017 or 18, but whatever Round Rock's all ability play, Bowles had essentially the same amount of acreage, like if we maximize it. And so, yeah, the plan is, you won't see it all in one phase, but ultimately if we continue to hit and we hit on the declaration that we've had and kind of the intention that we have, I think you'll continue to see funding support for this destination play space to probably see even a couple different phases, even long after we're all here, improvements and connections and more.
And this is a sign for a bar. They have a bar in the middle of it. So if we want to do that, we can do that too.
That's awesome.
Just vote for that today if y'all
Yeah.
want.
We love Bowles Park.
What's that?
We live in the neighborhood right across the street here, so we're at Bowles Park almost every day.
So we'll
with the
start
kids.
design on that in the next couple months, and that's probably a year to year and a half design. And then probably a year to 2 years construction. I wish things were faster.
Yeah, just if you could just go back a slide. I know you all mentioned that like Carrie, yeah, Carrie is the North Star, but that upper right picture reminds me of something I saw in Bellevue, Washington.
Okay.
If you
Also a
just-
great Parks and Rec department.
Yeah. It's odd. Now the city and the size of the city is probably different, but they had something very similar and definitely was driving traffic to downtown. So could be also a good source of inspiration if you all haven't already taken.
Yeah,
a look
Parks
at
and
it.
Rec.
I haven't seen
Rec
that.
Are great rip-off artists. Like,
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna have the first indoor turf facility in, I think, the country, if not the state for sure, but the country. But Grapevine's already reached out to me and told us they're doing it, and so they heard about it, and they're doing it into the expansion of their facility. And so as soon as you hear of some cool thing, a design, someone else hears about it, they start going after it, yeah.
Yeah.
My wife will kill me if I don't ask, because there are going to be swings at Bulls Park now, because there's not currently.
Yeah, we'll have swings in this plan.
But they won't be your regular swings, though.
Okay.
No, they're gonna like
Oh, yeah.
hang from a
Nothing
50-foot.
regular.
Sounds good.
We've added some swings into some of our other designs too, over the last couple of years. I mean, I know the previous administration had taken a lot of swings out. There's fallout zones and other reasons for that, but we've tried to bring some swings back.
What about the giant zip lines though?
Yep, zip lines as well. We've had some of those, and I think the destination play will have all that and then some.
We did go try out, what's the one kind of north?
Red Park.
Zola.
In Round Rock.
Zola.
Zola, yeah.
That's
Zola's
my
nice.
kid. That's my kid's favorite
Yeah,
part.
That
Zola's
is,
nice.
that is one of my favorites too, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their
that
favorite
zip
park
line.
is in a different.
Even the zip line aside,
Huh?
whoever did that.
Zola?
Park?
Yeah.
No, it's ours.
Oh.
And, no,
Yeah,
internal.
It's
I
just
was
a little
thinking
name.
Round Rock.
Yeah.
It's close to Round Rock, but it's ours.
Just get really ambitious and build a zip line from the Monarch to
That's
Bulls
all.
Park.
Listen,
Up there.
if legal would let me, I would do a lot of things. That people injured, to be quite honest.
So just updates on some other projects. 1849 Phase 1B was additional parking, lighting on the football fields. That's complete. Murkison Park was the second to last of our
Undeveloped.
undeveloped parks from the bond. That is now complete. Old Town Park, we just talked about that. The master plan was completed earlier last year and approved by council. And then we've talked about most of these, but annual trail improvements. When you're the trail capital of Texas, you have to continually make investments in your trails. So on the CIP side, Junior and his team does a lot of the maintenance. On the CIP side, this is trail gaps, trails, segments that were identified in the mobility master plan.
DG to concrete.
DG to concrete. So we're in design and engineering for our FY 2026 projects. That's all I have for projects. Any other questions? A lot going on.
Thank you. Okay, now we're at discuss and consider. No, sir. No, sir. This board has a chair and a vice chair. Chair presides over the meetings, does what I essentially did today. Adheres to the agenda, encourages discussions and decisions afterwards, and is the liaison for the park staff. Park staff reaches out to our chair a lot to make sure, hey, we're gonna have a quorum, we're not gonna have a quorum, here's the agenda, is there anything we need to add or take off, those types of things. And a vice chair serves as the chair if that chair is absent. We don't have everyone here tonight. Nick, not here. Is that it?
Is Melissa still our
No,
alternate?
they got rid of the alternate.
Oh.
Just did another position full-time, so I guess we're one down with Nick, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep, 6, so, but I know that y'all probably, this could be a great time to ask questions. If you wanna push this, last year what we did was we talked about, oh boy,
You're gonna need your mouse.
yeah, I know. We talked about, we talked about any questions y'all have. We brought this back the next time for y'all to vote on it. We can totally do that, or we put it as a discuss and consider today, so y'all can vote on it today. Next time, we're gonna have 2 parkland dedications. We're going to bring the committees back. So there will be some things to take, to lead and to talk about next time. Also, the first half of the CIP, this will be where staff presents as a discuss only our thoughts on the CIP. We'll get your feedback. The March one will be where y'all then will discuss and consider and make an action to go to planning and zoning. So there is some things on the next one as well. So y'all have every right to ask any questions. Say, hey, yeah, we're interested, give me a yay or nay, and we can move forward with the vote if y'all want to do it, or we can table it until next time. I think we have one previous vice chair here. We have 3 members that have served in some capacity in the past, and we have obviously 1, 2, 3, and then a 4th not here. Nick was at least a chair-elect or a vice chair for planning and zoning at one time under Jonathan Kaufman, I believe. So he's done that in some capacity. He's done some planning and zoning. I think he turned out of that board as well. So y'all can do, this is y'all's board, y'all can do, and it's your leadership of this board, so y'all can do whatever y'all wanna do.
So can we vote him as chair while he's not here?
That's right, yeah.
That'd be really
And then he
cool.
may just not get his paperwork notarized, and he just may never come back. He had all the paperwork done, but it has to be notarized, and there was no notary at the last minute or whatever, so he'll be at the next one.
I'm fine to wait till we have a full house.
And what we can do too, because the chair will lead the meeting, so we
We
can
can start
bump
that,
that
front
to the
load it.
front.
Yep, and then after that, the chair will take over. Anybody has any desire to vote tonight? So no problem with tabling it to next time?
Yep.
I don't need a recommendation for that, I can just table it as acting chair or whatever. And so we'll bring that back next time. Speaking of next time, we don't do something where you're allowed to ask us and put something on the agenda, but until we get a chair, if you would like to discuss something, you can send it to me and we'll talk about it. And in the future though, once you have a chair, you can reach out to the chair. And the way council does it is it would be like Tracy making a recommendation, but she can't just do it by herself. So she'd need Elise or someone else to say, yeah, I'm supportive of putting that on. And then the chair actually gets to decide if it hits the agenda or not. You can have your two support, they can still say, no, I'm not interested in putting that on the agenda. That's normally not what happens, but that's how you could see items go on future council agendas, or commission agendas.
So that happens within a meeting?
No, outside of the
Okay,
meeting,
gotcha.
yeah. You could just, once we have a chair, you can reach out and say, hey, I'd like to talk about sports fields. And I talked to Christian, he's my second. And you would copy him on it, and then the chair at that point could say, are y'all both good? Or I'm thinking maybe March is a big month, let's put it at April, and y'all say cool, and then we put it on April. So. Okay, if there's nothing else this month, we will adjourn at 8:21.